Hello, this is Tatsu, Japanese curiosity evangelist. Welcome to YOHAKU Radio, a pulse with Japanese wisdom. This is a place where we Japanese language and culture as a lens. A place to step back from days driven only by speed and efficiency, and to gently recover our sense of curiosity. Last time, we spoke about how the world can start to feel smaller when we lose our yohaku, our inner margin. In this session, I will explore the concept of ambiguity within the Japanese language. For example, when someone replies to a message by saying, "I'll think about it a little," you look at the white glow of your phone screen and read the line again and again, wondering if it means no or maybe not yet. Today I want to talk about that kind of non-final language in Japanese. Sometimes it is not weakness. Sometimes it is a form of yohaku that protects the space between people. In Japanese, there are speaking that leave a little air before the conclusion. They leave room for the other person and for the relationship itself. So, if an unclear reply stays with you today, maybe do not judge the other person too quickly. First, just notice what happened in your own body. Does your chest tighten? Do you feel an urgent need for certainty? That feeling can tell us something too. I used to struggle with this. I often feel that yes should mean yes and no should mean no. Wouldn't that be kinder? When I was in a hurry or wanted a quick answer, vague reply could make me feel irritated or uneasy. But when I looked again with a calmer mind, I sometimes saw something else. Maybe the other person was not trying to escape. Maybe they are trying to protect the relationship and searching for a gentler way to speak. Let's look at this through another lens. Japanese communication often depends on context. Not everything is said directly. Meaning is carried by expression, timing, silence, and the atmosphere of the moment. That is one reason people may avoid saying no in a direct way. Of course, there are situations where clarity matters. At work, in agreements, in plans, it is often better to ask clearly and confirm carefully. Vagueness can create real problems. But if we try to force all daily conversation into black and white, we may cut away something soft and human. So perhaps this kind of ambiguity is not only a way of avoiding an answer. Sometimes it is a kind of wisdom, a way of sensing that a direct answer right now may be too sharp. It leaves a little room for the other person to breathe. Room for us to check our own feelings too. Our conversation may become slower that way. But sometimes it also becomes less fragile. In modern media, strong statements always seem louder. This is the answer. This is the best way. That kind of certainty is easy to hear. But being easy to hear is not the same as truly landing in the heart. Words that do not rush to a conclusion can stay with us longer. They leave space for our own thought. And I think that space matters. So when you meet an ambiguous phrase, maybe you do not need to decide right away whether it is good or bad, right or wrong. Maybe you can first ask what is trying not to damage, what it is trying to protect. Not only the meaning of the words, but the temperature of the moment. And after you notice that, if you need clarity, you can still ask gently. You can say, do you mean this may be difficult? Respecting yohaku is not the same as endlessly enduring uncertainty. Here's today's question. In your own language, is there also a way of not saying everything directly? A way of protecting the air in the room or the feeling between people? When you remember a vague reply someone gave you, was there only discomfort there? Or was there also a little kindness or hesitation? Before deciding what it means, try remembering the texture of that moment. If you like to stay close to yohaku, there is a free letter where I share reflections, episode updates, and news about future gatherings. And for Japanese learners, there is also Yohaku Live, a quiet place to explore Japanese culture and practice putting your own thoughts into Japanese with support for nuance, expression, and grammar. If today's question stayed with you, I will also be glad to hear from you through the letter form. Your reflection may be shared in a future episode or live session, and they help deepen the dialogue we are building together in Yohaku. Thank you for listening. Next time, I would like to put this into words a little more clearly by asking why this radio chooses not to rush toward fixed conclusions. Until then, I'll see you in the next episode of Yohaku Radio.